Hello, welcome to another episode of MeatballCraft. How you guys doing? I'm doing pretty good myself, thanks for asking. So you guys got me in a pretty good mood today. I got some news, and I don't know if I've actually shared it on the Let's Play. I know I've talked about it in the streams before, but I did recently join a community band. It's pretty much just a bunch of musicians meeting up and we play some music. It's pretty good fun. And it's really exciting for me because it's the first time in like over 10 years or so, since high school pretty much, that I've actually performed in front of an audience. Like, yes, I do play occasionally on streams in the weekends in front of you guys, but like not a live audience. It's been a while since I last done that, but this community band is, scratching an itch of performance that I've had for quite a while. So if you guys happen to be anywhere near Central Texas during October and November, feel free to check out the Worst Fest and Oktoberfest festivals that are going to be around the area. And you'll probably see me in the background. I'm the guy that's playing cymbals, if you were wondering. So a lot of the music we play right now is German-based. So I gotta say, shout out to the Germans in the audience. You guys got some pretty good music. Anyways, let's get into some Minecraft. Oh, poor villager. So there's one big thing that I wanted to address. And I know you guys have seen it. Don't worry, I've seen it as well. But if you think about color tone of the series, it's very gray. I can't deny that. We were using gray cobblestone. We're using a dark gray wood planks, which is also kind of gray, I guess, in a gray biome. It's very gray, and, we got big gray multi-blocks as well, and you get the idea, right? So I have been thinking about, like, what I'm going to build the rest of the base as. I don't think I'm going to get into that today, but it does bring me to the major goal that I want to accomplish. Maybe not this episode, but probably on the next one. Is the portal to the void. This one pretty much just gives you like access to a void world where you can have like free reign to do whatever decoration you want, and it's also good for lag. So in a mod pack this big, I'm probably going to want to get here because of the lag itself. But you'll see here it's pretty expensive. I do need the controller itself and also the empowerer, which is just a bunch of crafting stuff, but I don't think this is too bad. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, but we just have to get some progress going. To get this, we have to get into AE2. I'm not actually going to set up any AE2 until I get the Void World going, but I still need a controller to get this portal, so I'm probably going to aim for crafting 2 of them. And you'll see here it is kind of expensive, but it is doable. But for us to even craft this, we need the Elite Crafting Table, which isn't too bad. It's just a bunch of diamond stuff, right? And we have basically everything here. I did want to address some comments on the last episode. I got some pretty good ones, and I appreciate that. It has to do with upgrading our sword. So one of the things I can do right now, upgrade our weapons with sharpness using nether quartz, and nether quartz does have EMC. And because I have 1 modifier left, I also should upgrade it with lapis so I can get fortune on these tools. And that's just a lot more loot. And with the mod pack like this, I think getting loot is a pretty good idea. Another useful thing is Enderium Knife Blade for the Shuriken. The Enderium Knife Blades come with and speed as a projectile trait, which pretty much means it is instant hit scan. I'm probably going to end up replacing the Dark Matter one because I already have enough modifiers. So we'll just do that. Yeah, instantly travel so that I don't actually have to like lead a target. It's so useful. And another thing is I can actually upgrade our pick and hammer with red matter heads so that now they're like able to just drill through really quickly. And then red matter also has EMC, so we can just repair it relatively fast, right? And then I can just upgrade this pick further. And this is basically going to replace my shikaxe because this also works on pretty much anything. It's kind of like a shikaxe already, plus we get extra benefits out of it. And then I can pretty much do the same thing to the hammer and give it a red matter hammerhead. Okay, check it out. I pretty much upgraded everything here. Our sword and shuriken is completely filled with all of these traits. And they also both have luck, so that I can get a lot more loot over time, right? And there's another useful trait that the Enderium Shuriken Knife Blade has. It's Portly Gentleman. If you guys didn't know, it's actually a way to transport entities. So if I shift right click one of these traders, I actually have them with me. It says right there, Global Traveler currently enabled, Entity Minecraft Villager. And then if I want to release them, I just press a button. I have it set to Z. And there it is. The pretty useful stuff, right? But I just wanted to upgrade my stuff. Thanks for the suggestions. You know, I always appreciate the comments like that. And there's probably more I can do to upgrade my weapons. So if you had any other ideas, feel free to let me know. But anyways, let's get to crafting some things. So the elite crafting table is probably the first thing we're going to do. And this also brings up another discussion that we can have. I think I'm going to hold off on automation until I get a base going in the void. That way, it's just easier to move all my stuff. And by the way, if you're ever wondering where I'm getting all the resources for this stuff, it's through EMC. When will I ever need 300,000 crafting tables? Probably now, right? Yeah, it's becoming pretty apparent to me now that we probably want to set up automation for this soon. I'll get to it though, because like there's so much microcrafting involved here, but we're getting pretty close to it. Uh-oh, we hit a wall. Yeah, I don't think I have enough manulin for this. No, so I'm gonna have to go pick some up. Not too bad. Let's go get a little bit. And you know what? This also gives us an opportunity to try out our weapons, so see that? And also I sorry, chicken. I've also heard that the end speed is like super good because the projectile speed also impacts how strong the damage is. So if it's teleporting instantly, it's a ton more damage. So for example, that magma cube. Boom. Oh, it's so helpful. Okay, let's turn on my wing charm over here and let's go hunting for some cobalt and ardite. Something out here is murdering all of these chickens. I promise it's not me. I would never do that to them. Oh, these are the guys that dropped the purple blazes, right? I think I need that for something. You guys drop any? Yeah, you have a little bit. I'm pretty sure I need this stuff for something. Yeah, maybe that at some point. Oh, ender chests. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll hunt for these if I find them. Okay, I think this is also something I'm looking for. This emberstone stuff, because the portal, to get this, you need the empowered void crystal, which means you need the empowerer. And to craft this, you need emberstone, and I'm pretty sure it's just that, right? Yeah. So let's pick that up whenever I find it as well. Okay, we got our manulin, a block, and there we go. And I believe the quest gives us another one, right? Yes. Because of the amount of exploration in this mod pack, the file size of world files can get quite large to make you make you backups smaller. I think that's a typo. And faster, you can use the aroma backup config found in that. Okay. Okay, gotcha. I'll take a look at this later. I believe this also means that we're in chapter 2, right? Yeah. So I can update my role in the Discord. So if I check here, welcome to chapter 2. Yeah, I still need to find an actual trophy room or something. I think that'd be pretty cool, right? Oops. Okay, and pretty much what's next is actually getting close to AE2. I would like to craft 2 of these controllers, one for myself and one for the portal to the void. So to actually craft this, it's kind of involved. We do need some netherites, which I think we have plenty of this stuff. I might have enough for this, but I'll just leave it here for now and we'll figure it out. But other things we're going to need is a couple more manulin. We're going to need a lot of this fluix, and I think I want to start this next. That's so funny. Why do you need an elite crafting table to do this? Why? I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. That's pretty funny. So the very slow way to grow this is just to throw it in the water and then wait forever. It's a very long time. It actually is like a couple hours in real time, I think, something like that. Or we can craft these growth accelerators, which is probably what I want to do. And then you can further upgrade this into the crystal growth chamber, which is probably our best bet. And then we got multi-blocks for this at some point. Yeah, this is probably what I want to do, grind for this. But it looks like either way, I'm also going to need these chipsets. We have 2 routes of getting this. Either, never mind, we can't get it like this. So we're going to have to craft the assembly table, which is its own thing. And you can see where this pack is getting a little bit of a... It's getting a little bit fun, right? So much stuff here. But I'm all for this. So it looks like our next step is this assembly table. And once I build this, I think I'm going to have like a separate little machine platform. Just temporary, because I'm going to need machines either way. I can't not have machines right now. So once I get this, I'm going to build a little platform for this and for some other stuff. Iron alloy blocks. Redstonia is really simple. It's just redstone in the atomic reconstructor. I might as well make my own because, you know, why not? They're pretty cheap at this point. And iron alloy blocks. I can't alloy it, so I'm going to have to craft the ingot itself. I think I'm just going to make the Ender IO one because I think that's used for more stuff. And I'm only saying that because I don't really know otherwise. So let's craft this guy. Simple alloy smelter. And the simple machine chassis, we can craft that in a basic crafting table now. But we also need grains of infinity. Oh, okay. This is why you shouldn't be digging straight down. Okay, so pretty much how the infinity dust works, if you didn't know, you just gotta burn bedrock. And then you give it some time and it's gonna drop piles of infinity. But we got our infinite dust. What's it called? Grains of infinity, right? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's another way to automate this using a sag mill. It's not something I've ever done before, but maybe I will. Yeah, so you get the double compressed block and then you sag mill it, so you get all of your dust block back, but you also get 9 infinity dust plus a little extra. So you just have to have like some kind of little loop to do this, and that's another way to automate it. Okay, then we got our simple machine chassis, and I should be able to craft this now. Yep, okay. So we got our alloy smelter. And I did say that once I get a machine, I should build a platform for this, so I know I said that it's very gray out here, but how can I not use this stuff? It's so cheap, and it's EMCable. Tell you what, I'm going to meet you in the middle and use marble instead of stone. Just so that it looks a little bit nicer, right? And you know what? Another thing I should probably craft now is the building gadget to help me out here. And you know what? Exchanging gadget as well is going to help me out. So I should be able to set to marble. Configure it to like a bigger area. Let's say, I guess 5. And there we go. Yeah, look how much cleaner this looks. I don't know about the pattern, but we'll keep it like this for now. I promise. Once we get to the void world, it's going to look a little better. I promise. I think it looks a little cleaner, right? Compared to all the gray. Yeah, it'll do. So I also had to break the gravestones here. I had a couple of them laid out over here, and I broke them with my pick, and they just disappeared, so... Okay, so what I'm going to do is probably have like a energy battery or of some kind. I believe there's like an energy cell I can craft. Yeah, this guy. This doesn't seem too bad. So I'm going to power this to like store all our power and somehow move it from the dynamo down here to our machines. So I think I'm just going to put the machines up against this wall for now, and then maybe even expand out this way. Just a temporary thing. For example, I can just put this guy right there, right? And then for energy cables, we can stick with the old faithful flux ducts. I use a lot of these in compact claustrophobia, so I'm pretty used to these already. So I also wanted to mention something. Very simple things like aluminum brass. I'm not really going to show you guys on camera how to get this because it's, pretty simple. It's just an alloy of aluminum and copper if you don't know already. Both of these stuff can be EMC'd. So for example, I just get a stack of each and then throw them in there and then just let it cook over time. And that's just what I'm going to do off camera. But yeah, like getting EMC is definitely a big step because I'm just able to produce so many alloys. And you can see here that our smeltery controller, it can't really keep up. I'm going to have to deal with this at some point. Oh no, don't tell me this. Oh yeah, I'm just going to make it ridiculously large for no reason. I definitely could build it, and I think I will to world height, but I have to get a wand for that first because for some reason the building gadget doesn't actually let me select that block, but I think I'm able to with the wand. The only thing is that to craft the unbreakable one, because I don't think these are craftable. No. The unbreakable one needs nether stars, and it's not really a focus right now, so I won't worry about this until later. But once I get this wand, yeah, I'm gonna build this to world height. Because I might as well, right? I might as well with this one too, sure. Man, the amount of quests I'm getting by accident is kind of ridiculous. I'm just picking up things, crafting random other stuff, and I just keep getting quests. Okay, but I do have the energy cell, and I also crafted these leadstone flux ducts. So what I'm going to do is probably put the battery right over here. Right there. Dynamo right over here. And then we're just going to feed this, emeralds. And this guy gets power. And then we can output the power on either side. Just like that. Okay, so the storage scanner does get power. And then we can power machines over here. Just like this. Okay, so now the alloy smelter has power as well. And I might as well start investing in some of these upgrades for the dynamo. They're a little involved. I don't know how much I want to get into this though. We can at least craft these fuse quartz. Once we get one piece, we can actually get infinite amount, right? Using the alloy smelter, look at that. Cryothium is a little bit tricky to get right now, so I think I'm just going to go up to reinforced, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I got a little bit of fuse quartz, and this is EMCable. So once we have one, we have infinite. And I believe this is the reinforced upgrade kit. Thank you. Okay, so now we're able to output just a little bit more power. And another thing I should craft is the lapidary calibration augment so that the emeralds are a little more efficient. But to do this, we need signalum, which isn't too bad. Copper, silver, and redstone. So we should be able to do that just fine. We got our signalum, craft the gear, and I should get the lapidary calibration. And I also made one of these fuel catalyzers. It's not too expensive. And that's just to increase fuel efficiency just a little bit more as well. I believe that's as much as I can upgrade it, right? So now each one is going to produce 280,000 RF, and I can output up to 400 RF per tick. So we're steadily increasing power, and then I can just, refill this whenever I need to. Okay, so we got a little bit of a machine line going. We have our cute little alloy smelter. He's trying his best. I'll upgrade it eventually. But let's go ahead and make a atomic reconstructor next. I can't bring the one from the actually additions house because it's going to break. I don't think there's any way for me to actually bring it over. But now that we have basic crafting, this is actually pretty cheap. We just need charcoal, redstone, and refined iron. Okay, but this should be the reconstructor. Thank you. And there's a neat little automation that I like to do whenever I get this set up. You plug it in, and you want to set this to pulse? No, deactivation, right? So it's basically always going to run, but if you give it a redstone torch, it'll turn it off so that it doesn't work until you give it a signal or until you turn off that torch, which you can do with the wooden pressure plate. So whenever you want to actually put items, you just have to throw them onto the pressure plate. Oh, you know what? I don't think it's working because it might need an extra space in front of it. Okay, check it out. I think this works. I'm not the best with redstone, bear with me, but I'm pretty sure the issue was that the reconstructor needs an extra space in front of it. If I put the pressure plate right there, it's not going to work, but I just moved the signal down here. So if you press that, it shuts off the torch for a little bit and should enable the reconstructor. I'll patch that up. So if I drop redstone, for example, right there. There it is. Okay. There's, of course, better ways to automate it, but I don't need anything special right now. So we pretty much have everything here. I did get the Emberstone cooked up. Diamond gear is not too expensive. There we go. The more tricky thing is iron alloy, but we can just use the alloy smelter that we crafted. Okay, this guy's a little bit slow, so I'm going to make friends. Just 3 more. Might as well, right? And it's also something I want to get into for this mod pack. So if you guys don't know me by now from GT&H, I tend to just build one machine to do everything. And one of the things I've learned, or I'm trying to get better, is to not do that as much. So this is a good example, right? I need a lot of iron alloy ingot for the assembly table. You need, 36 of this? And I know it's slow, so why not just make a ton of machines? So that's probably what I'm going to be doing from now on. And it's also just a good practice to have because you'll get through the mod pack a little faster, right? Okay, yeah, it's a good thing I have those alloy smelters set up because you have to craft these lasers and power them. And these are the guys that actually power the assembly table and to craft stuff. But you'll see here that it's also iron alloy blocks. So Yeah, just one alloy smelter is not going to cut it. And I know some of you are probably thinking, well, why don't you upgrade them? I'm lazy. I guess lazy isn't the right thing to say. It's kind of a running joke in the community if you're not a part of it already. I think it's just one of the most common things people say about me is that burning will get to it eventually. Now, when is that eventually? Beats me. But it'll happen, I promise. And there we go. So this one's also just going to be a simple setup for now. It's going to have a laser, and I believe I can do this. I don't know if it requires extra space. I've never actually used this before. I only know about it because of Etho's Project Ozone 2 Kappa Mode series. It was running an older version of Minecraft, but from what I remember, you just put stuff into here and you select what you want to craft. So I'm going to assume it works like that. But the main purpose of that build craft table is for this redstone chipset, which you just put redstone and that's pretty much it, right? So I guess I can show you what I'm talking about. So I'll get a stack of redstone, throw it in here, and get it going. And it's pretty slow because we only have one laser, so I'll leave that running in the background. The ME controller is also going to need Fluix, which we don't really have a good way of getting this, so I think I'm going to try to get a bunch of these crystal growth accelerators and maybe just go directly into the crystal growth chamber, because this is just a really easy way to grow pure crystals. But we have another issue here. So for the crystal growth accelerator itself, you need these glass cables, which needs quartz fiber, which needs combination crafting. So I'm going to have to set this up as well. I don't think it's too bad. It's just a bunch of mithril and black iron things, so we should be able to get this. The pedestal itself is also okay. And it doesn't look like I can craft mithril plates using an engineer's hammer. So I'll just make a compactor for this. Go ahead and put that guy right there for now. Oh, I forgot it just throws the item out. Oops. I'll come back to this. But the compactor's purpose is to make my mithril plates. I just need 20 of this in total for now. Let's make a range collector. I guess do this, and then filter this to redstone chipsets. So whenever I craft anything else, I'll be sure to filter this, and we can have an automated collection system, and we don't lose any of this stuff. And I did wait a little bit, and we have a good amount of iron alloy ingots. So I might as well spend that for more lasers. Sorry about the rain, by the way. And I have enough stuff for 2 more lasers, because I think I'm out of emberstone. Okay, I clearly don't know how this works. What if I put it up top? Let me take a nap, because this rain's kind of getting to me. Okay, I guess I don't understand how this works. I guess they all have to, like, face directly into it. Okay, I think this works. I mean, 3 times as fast. I think that's how the math works. Okay, but while I was doing that, I did get the mithril plates. Then I should be able to craft all of the pedestals here. And I guess I'm just going to put this guy over here. Just like that. And you're also going to need power, right? Okay, fine. I'm going to connect power underground. And there we go. Just don't look down. Yeah, just don't look at that. Okay, but now that we have combination crafting unlocked, I should be able to craft all of this stuff relatively simple. We do have 2 options. One of them is said, however that's pronounced, but we can't get this until the end of chapter 3, so I'm not going to worry about that. I will need this jade stuff, which we do have a good amount. Throw that in there, and no, doesn't look like it, even though it says you can, which is not true. I got scammed. So instead, I'm just going to craft the pulverizer, because it does let me double this. You can put this guy right over here and give it the ascended jade, and it's actually not that slow. I appreciate that. The other things we need for the quartz fiber, a couple of things. You need Certus quartz dust, and throw this in the pulverizer. And something else is this clear glass, and I believe you can only get this in the Tinker Smeltery. And for us to use the smart output, we do need this upgrade. Yeah, everything is gettable, except for the night slime nuggets. It does have EMC, so I just need to craft this once. But this is an alloy of iron, purple slime, and seared stone. And to get the purple slime, I do have the slime I can't say that. Slime saplings from that island that we went to, I think last episode. And I just realized I don't have any bone meal. Bone meal it for the purple slimy leaves. and hopefully get a chance of getting purple slime balls. Oh, there we go. Throw this in here, and now I have unlimited. Okay, so we got our night slime. I just need 1 ingot to turn this into EMC. Now we have unlimited. And I only need a couple of nuggets for this. And there we go. So with this, I should be able to just throw a stack of glass in there. But I can put this upgrade over here and it'll be treated as a casting basin so I can get the clear glass that I need for the quartz fiber. But check it out. I smelted like a stack of glass and we should get, I think it's a 1-to-1, so I should get a stack of clear glass out of this. And then for me to actually craft the quartz fiber, I just need to put everything in the right spot. I don't think the order matters. We'll see if it does. No, it does not. Okay, sweet. And I'm not sure if this is enough for now, but I can always just make more. But anyways, we're a little closer to the crystal growth accelerator now. I'm going to need a lot of fluix for this. And for me to do fluix in any way, I need quartz, redstone, and charged Certus quartz. Redstone and quartz is EMCable, but charged Certus quartz isn't. And I believe the best way to do this is energetic infuser. I should be able to put this guy right there and then charge my stuff over time. Also going to need a bunch of this quartz glass, which is a bunch of quartz dust and glass. And I'll just use nether quartz for this. Yeah, because it is a little bit faster than Certus quartz. And to make fluix, you pretty much just need to drop some water, and then your redstone, nether quartz, and charged Certus quartz. And we got our little glass cables, and then crushed quartz over here. Getting all the achievements, make quartz glass. There we go. And 5. Okay. At some point, I do want to get 8 of them in total for the crystal growth chamber. But we need pure fluix crystals for this. And yeah, I'm not going to throw them in water and wait for that. Nuh-uh. We're going to set this up for just a little bit. We also want an energy acceptor to power our little network here. Oh no. Why are you expensive? I didn't think it was this pricey. Do I even have enough manual for this? I have a little bit. I'm probably gonna have to go back to the nether for some more. Honestly, it doesn't seem too bad. We have a lot of the chipsets being produced, and then we need quartz chipset, which is redstone and nether quartz, so we can do that as well. We'll get those going, and we do have a couple of these guys ready. Okay, this is another thing why I like this mod pack. You know, it uses the multi-block miniaturization stuff to give examples of how you can set this up. This is pretty much how I would have done it already, but it's pretty nice that they showcase it, right? But I'm going to go ahead and set it up like this. And the idea is that you have 5 of these crystal growth accelerators, and they're going to, you know, accelerate the growth of these fluix seeds so you don't have to wait forever for this. But we are going to have to wait a little bit for the quartz chipset because this stuff is kind of, it takes forever to craft. Okay, yeah, we pretty much just need the energy acceptor, so I think I'm just going to do some editing while that goes. Okay, I got some other good news. I finally decided to invest in 32 gigabytes of RAM. And I'm saying this because it helps me so much with the editing stuff. Because I was using only 16 gigs of RAM before, and I used DaVinci Resolve as an editing software. And if you didn't know about that, it's kind of a RAM hog. And it's especially bad when I have Minecraft open, which is also a RAM hog. So those two never played nice with each other, and my computer does not like it whenever I'm trying to edit. It's something I would recommend if you're into video editing. Get 32 gigs of RAM from personal experience, right? But anyways, we do have the quartz chipset ready, and I can craft the energy acceptor now. So next up, I'm going to set this little thing up. I'm going to modify it a little bit, but I'll talk to you about it whenever it's ready. Okay, check it out. I didn't follow the guideline 100%. So one of the things it didn't mention is this toggle bus. This is important because if you didn't know, the growth accelerators will always drain power, even if they're not actively doing anything. So that I flick it with the lever, it powers it on, so it is allowed to accept power to all of the growth accelerators, and then I just connect them all together down here. So this is also another cool thing about AE2 stuff, is that they pass power through each other. So that connection up there will go through this machine to the bottom. It does not go in the sides though, because these guys are sighted. So this guy is flipped around so that it points my way, so that that connection can go to the one back there. And you can do this with a crescent hammer. Just right click it and it rotates the block. And then of course you got power going through there. But yeah, if there's nothing actually processing, it's going to continuously drain power. So I do recommend using a toggle bus for this. But pretty much how it works, you know, you power all 5 of these and you just throw your fluix seeds in there. And then it takes a while. So it's already 6%. So what is that? That was only a couple of seconds. So maybe less than a minute and it should be grown. Okay, but check it out. They did fully grow. 100% pure crystals. And what I can even do is just move this range collector over here. I guess I'll put it somewhere in the middle so that it can also pick up the assembly table stuff. We'll put it right there, and I can filter it to pure crystals. And I just learned something. These things are redstone activated as well, so giving it a redstone signal shuts it off. Yeah, let's put it there. So this pretty much means that I can just like throw a stack of fluix seeds in here and then just walk away while it's processing, and this will pick it up so I don't actually lose the stuff. But yeah, we got a pretty good little system going. Got a lot of machines set up, so I would say that's pretty good progress. But it is about time to wrap up the episode. But yeah, I can pretty much guarantee that on the next one, we're going to get the portal to the void. And off camera, between episodes, I'm going to think about a way to decorate our base. And yeah, it's about time we step away from the gray we have going on here so far. Crafting the ME controller isn't too bad. We have basically everything. I'm probably just going to do a small mining trip in the nether for Ardite and Cobalt to get the Manulin. We do have enough netherite and then skystone. I don't think I have that with me, but we do have the meteor at spawn, so I can just pick that up really quickly. So I'm going to have to craft another energy acceptor because, again, I want 2 ME controllers, right? One for myself and one for the portal. Again, this isn't too bad, right? We pretty much got everything for this. So I think off camera, I'm also going to craft these chipsets because yeah, this is pretty slow. But this is probably one of the first things I'm also going to really improve in the void world. It feels like that's kind of the nature of this mod pack. Focuses a lot more on exploration and things like that. And the automation, there's tons of things to really help you out. And it's best to not ignore them and take advantage of everything, right? But anyways, that is it for today. As always, I appreciate your time and support, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.